Alright, I'm just playing around here. Going to take the 737 from Phoenix to Santa Ana, Orange County, California. And I got the plane all kind of set up here. Again, this is just for fun, so we're not going to be too anal about getting everything right. As you can see, we're sitting at the terminal here, but the scenery doesn't have the terminal, so I'm not even going to do a pushback. Just going to go ahead and roll out to the runway and take off and climb on out. And normally we would be sitting at the terminal right here. Kind of stuck in the terminal. There we go. I'm just going to get the ATIS to set the altimeter here. I guess that comm isn't working. Go ahead and set it over here.
Phoenix Sky Harbor INTL information Golf 1900 Zulu weather. Wind calm, visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 10,000 few, temperature 31, dew point 7. Altimeter 2987. Arriving runway 26, departing runway 26. Advise on initial contact you have Golf.
Alright, I think we might have been there already, but good to double check it. I think we're ready for takeoff.
Approaching 26. on runway 26.
And I think we're ready to go. Goodbye, Phoenix. I am using Ortho 4XP here in the Phoenix area. Sorry about that. Jumping all around. I've been playing around with X camera here, so forgive the views if they're a little hokey, but try to set up a couple looking out over the engines, and then a couple kind of sitting off in the back here. I am flying the 737-800 default airplane, so it doesn't have interiors. I forgot what the ATIS said. Let's see. In regards to the clouds here, we got some scattered clouds here looking. We're just coming up to them, about 11,000 feet. Nice view as we just pop up through a little hole there. So I have got it set up for 27,000. Actually, probably going to go up to 28,000. Let me go back inside and reset that. Try to stay with the flight rules a little bit, at least somewhat. Even though this is just fun flying. We are heading west, so we want to even altitude. And less than 15,000 feet, so now we'll wait till we get to 18,000. We'll just go standard on the altimeter setting for right now. We're not maxing out the engines, which is good. Climbing out at 3,000 feet per minute. Nice thing about flying Phoenix to Santa Ana and back, depending on the runways that you use in Phoenix. When you come in on runway, I believe it's 8. Let me take a look here. Looking at my approach plates. Yeah, if you use the ILS for runway 8, the frequency there is actually the same as the ILS frequency for Santa Ana. So, I don't know, it's coincidence. Kind of set the plane up and just fly back and forth. Milk run. Let's take a look at some of the scenery again. You can see over there towards the horizon, that's where the Ortho 4XP ends, and you got the default back behind it. I think I did like 2 blocks on Ortho 4XP here for the Phoenix area. And it ends just south of Phoenix there. We're looking out the right side. We look at the left side, you can see it tends to blend in there. You can still kind of see it. I don't know if you can see my cursor, but right back here. That's the line, I think, where the scenery ends. I'm going to cross here somehow. And yeah, going forward here. See, we're going to... There's a little bit of space there where I don't have any ortho, and then I have most of Southern California, so it's just a quick hop through the desert here. And then before we even get into California, ortho picks up again. Let's see where we're at. 23,000 feet. Engines are still looking good, though I'm kind of screwing around here. I didn't even adjust for our speed. Let's come back here. Drop this to 18 and get our speed. Climb that up and down. Looking at the scenery, forgot to speed up. We're overheating the engines there a little bit. Can't help it. We're going to get overheated. We're almost up to our altitude anyway, so let's just double check here. 28,000. And everything else looks good. And I'm not using the flight management for the flight because it's pretty much a straight shot. I am using it just to get my bearing, although it's pretty much the same. 263, 264, all the way there. We're coming up to our altitude here. another 1,500 feet or so. Got our cruising speed, Mach 0.75. And I'm just pulling that out of my ass. I think the top speed on the 737-800 at cruise is like 0.78 or something like that. So there's our 1,000-foot warning. We're within 1,000 feet of our cruise altitude. Autopilot should switch over to altitude hold here. You can see the Ortho 4XB scenery coming into view there along the horizon again. We'll stay inside here for a minute just to make sure we capture our altitude. There it goes. Give us an ETA? No, just bearing a distance. 235 miles to go. Should be pretty quick. Yeah, again, this is kind of fun flying here, so I'm not really screwing around a ton here. I'm still learning the 737 and all the systems and, you know, the startup procedures and all that, so I don't really mess with it right now. More just getting a feel for the airplane, seeing how the autopilot works, how the plane handles. I'm going to leave us in here for just a minute. I'm going to take a quick break, and then I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. Let's take a look outside, see what we see. There's a good view of the Ortho 4XP again. I'll have to do the remaining block or two here between California and the Phoenix one that I have. I do want to get the right around Flagstaff too, you know, Grand Canyon and Vegas, all that. So I'll probably do all that stuff that you see out over the horizon. You can see what a difference it makes too. Let me scroll around here a little bit. Yeah, look at that. No Ortho 4XP and with Ortho 4XP. Pretty clear day so far. You can see the Colorado River just ahead of us there. I think our flight takes us right over the Blythe area. Let's take a look here. Somebody passing us by. Yeah, we should fly right over Blythe. And if you look at my channel, I do have a couple other flights where I'm doing a 172, just touring around Southern California where I have all the Ortho. Haven't done one of those in a while, but maybe I'll pick that up again. Thought I'd give my try at the 737 here. Again, I've only been flying the 737 like maybe the last week or two or something like that. Just learning the systems. Try to keep everything within normal operating specs. I'm sure I'm not, but did a little research online. Took a look at the, took a look at the 737-800 manuals and whatnot. Get an idea for flap schedule and power settings and all that. Haven't gotten it down pat yet, but good enough to where I'm not crashing. I have not crashed this plane yet, which is good, I guess. In the future, I'll screw around with the flight manager here. Been looking at a couple of the guys on YouTube that are doing the flights, and there's some that have some pretty decent videos on tutorials for it, but I haven't gotten there yet. I also just picked up X camera and installed it on here just the other day, so that's like I said before, my views aren't all set up yet. I've just got a couple of basic ones out each side, and interior panels and whatnot. Real nice add-on. I definitely like it. I'm still trying to figure out how to use my mouse to be able to move the view. I don't know if there's a setting someplace. If you know, comment on the video. I don't know if there's something I gotta turn on to allow me to scroll back and forth with my mouse. You know, you right click, hold, and move around, but it's kind of locked on the video here. I can pan around with my my hat switch, or well, my D-pad really. I'm flying on a Xbox 360 controller. And there you can see that there's no interior on the default airplane here. So if you look at the back, you're kind of looking right through the plane. I gotta adjust this thing. Somehow it's very touchy. I mean, it's hard to get it just right. It scrolls way too fast. But one more thing I gotta figure out. Yeah, the Ortho 4XP is real nice. You know, it's not perfect. You know, it's satellite pictures, so sometimes the shading on the mountain's a little off, but definitely adds a nice bit of realism. I am an actual general aviation pilot. I learned to fly in Southern California, out of San Diego. So I have flown all around here in real life in a Cessna. So I kind of know my way around here. That's another nice thing, especially flying out here in the West Coast. There's you know, there's mountains, there's ocean, there's desert, there's everything else. It's easy to pick your way around, as opposed to flying someplace like the Midwest or I don't know. Yeah. One time I flew in Illinois in real life, and I remember the first time I took off in it was a Piper Archer. I was kind of like, holy crap, it's flat out there. Which way is west? Which way is east? Everything looks the same. Coming up to the Salton Sea and Palm Springs. I'm going to go ahead and adjust our course here just a little bit. I'm going to eyeball it here. So the Salton Sea is that body of water right there. Just to the right of it, pretty much straight ahead of us, is Palm Springs. And you can see that little peak right here. Again, I'm not sure if you're seeing my my cursor, but that little peak that we're heading for, we just want to go to the right of it a little bit. And that'll take us right over Palm Springs, and we make a nice transition onto the ILS for Santa Ana. Looks like we got 143 miles to go from this point on. And there is the Salton Sea, like I said. And you can see Bombay Beach. A little that little spot right along the shore there where it kind of jogs out a little bit. Let's take a look out here a little bit. Imperial Valley. El Centro down there in the haze. So like I said, I have I can't talk today. Ortho 4XP, pretty much all of Southern California, except off to the side right there a little bit. So it should be pretty nice as we come around the mountain there over Palm Springs and through the Inland Empire, the IE. It's like Riverside, San Bernardino counties. And we'll pick up our ILS into Santa Ana. I actually have a printed ILS here. See if we can do our descent right. Let me see here. What are we at? 28,000 feet. Do a little math in my head here. Let's see. We got to go down to 3,500 is where we intercept the ILS. So that is what is that? 8,765. We gotta go 2,400, 500 feet. Sorry, 24,500 feet down. And we're going, what's our ground speed here? 419. Ooh. I don't know. I'm just doing a rough calculation in my head. We gotta start. We are going to slow down, so we should start down about half an hour out. Something like that? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Well, we're about 120 miles out now, something like that. Yep, 120 miles out, so we will... I think we'll start our initial descent about 100 miles out. We're not that high anyway, 28,000 feet. It's kind of a real challenge trying to fly with an Xbox, or Windows controller. But I actually find it not that bad. When you're flying in a real airplane, or at least when I am, my left hand is on the yoke, my right hand, is on the throttle and doing the radios. So on the controller, I actually have the not the thumb, what am I talking about? Not the triggers, but the buttons right above the triggers. That's actually my throttle up and down, which is that's about the weirdest thing on there. Otherwise, the yoke is controlled with the left stick. I have my trim and flaps with my, A, B, X, Y buttons. And then my rudder with my triggers. It seems to work out pretty good. I'll have to upgrade to an actual, and I'd love to get an actual yoke and a throttle quadrant, but I just don't want to blow the money on it right now. So there's Coachella Valley. When they have Coachella, the concert, that's down there. It's outside of, Palm Springs. Palm Springs is just ahead of us right there. And again, we're going to kind of fly right over that peak. Adjust our heading here a little bit. Let's take a look at our radios and see if we can pick up our ATIS. 126 is our ATIS. I've got it on. We'll hit the ILS. You can hear that when it comes in. I think we missed our descent. Did we not? Yeah, we're right there. Alright, so let's go ahead. We'll take this down a little bit, start slowing up a tad. And we'll reset this to our glide slope intercept, which is 3,500. I wish there was a faster way to do this. I'm pretty sure there probably is, but it doesn't matter how far I move my mouse or how fast I spin the wheel. It still takes a while to change the altitude on here. And we'll get it close here and start our descent. So 3,500. Alright, and then we'll go to vertical speed hold. Start our descent. I forgot our descent rate. We'll go for 1,200. 1,500 is good. Actually, we'll go a little faster. Since we started it late here, let's go for 2,200. We'll start slowing up too. We got a little bit of a headwind, it looks like, here. Let me see, that is 29 Palms, or no, not 29 Palms, Thermal Airport, or at least it used to be called Thermal. It's Jacqueline Cochran Regional, I think it's called now. Palm Springs down below us. If you look at the horizon, you can actually see the ocean already. Actually should go right over the top of Palm Springs Airport. Let's see if we see it on the map. Pretty close. Yeah, here's the airport. We should fly right over Palm Springs. San Diego. And there's where we're heading. You can see if you drew a line across that. Let me get our flight on here. So you see if you draw a line out the runway, you want to intercept it someplace around Ontario here, Chino. That's about where we're heading, direct. Now, we'll increase our rate of descent here a little bit. See if we got any marine layers still at the coast. As I live in Southern California, I can tell you there was marine layer this morning. I am flying real world weather, current time. Let's take a look at our airport. Let's see here. So there's our airport right there. Obviously this line here is pointing to our destination from the flight manager. This is our ILS, so that's the orientation of the runway. So if we progress this up here on our current heading, we should intercept right around Chino, Ontario. I think that's the airport. Can't see. Let's take a look at these mountains. Nice. Many times I've flown around these. Let me see if I see my house.
Altimeter setting.
Yep. Altimeter. Alright, so this is Hemet. Our airport's down here someplace. We got Lake Elsinore is over here. I can't quite see it. Or maybe it's right there. I live in this valley back here. About half an hour from the beach. Alright, we're at 15,000. Let's we'll reset our altimeter once we actually get something from the ATIS. I think we're coming down at a pretty good clip here, so let's slow that up a little bit. Still got a little ways to go here. 57 miles. Yeah, we descended a little bit too quick. No, 310's good for right now. We're at 13,500. Yeah, we'll just do a slow descent here. We're gonna go right into this area here, intercept our localizer, and start heading off and make a left turn into the airport. Let me double check, make sure I got
Orange
the right.
County,
There
John
we go.
Wayne Information Golf,
Got it.
2000 Zulu weather, wind 210 at 6, visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 1,400 few, 25,000 few, temperature 23, dew point 17. Altimeter 2990. Arriving runways 20 right,
2990.
20 left.
We got some
Departing
few
runways
clouds at,
20 right,
what did I say,
20
1400?
left. Advise on initial contact, you have golf.
Thank you, we got golf. Alright, let's get set up for our approach here. Again, we are descending, kind of taking our time here until we get to the right spot. 241. Our final approach course is 196. Got that set, so we're looking for this to go to 196. And we'll start slowing up in a tad. Let's have a look out here. Actually, get rid of that. Alright. 3,500 feet. That's on. Make sure all the VORs are on. Okay. That's good. Flight director, obviously. Throttle's on. Let's see what else I gotta do. Arm the speed brake. Anti-skid, since I'm using an Xbox controller, I have my brake button on full max brake. So we'll go to 3 on the anti-skid. Go ahead and turn on our landing lights here. Adjusted a little bit. I think we can start down now. We'll start slowing down. See how we do there. We got 2,500 feet to go to slow down to 250. I might have to use that speed brake a little bit. I do have VOR2 tuned into Seal Beach. It's usually about 2.5, 3 miles, something like that, a little bit farther past the ILS, so 38.5 nautical miles right now on the DME. And we're coming up to 1,100 feet, 289 knots. We'll go ahead and hit the speed brake. Get us down to 250. Yeah, we're speeding a little bit. Can't be helped. Looks like I am picking up the ILS a little bit. Got glide slope info. Alright, there's 250. Drop the speed brakes. And let's see, what are we at? 9,000. I'm gonna go down a little bit faster here. Slow ourselves down about 110. Might have to have that speed brake again. We are below the glide path there. Let me see if I've got. Oh, I got the radio on. Nav 1. Double check that again. 111.75. Yep, that's right. I think that's Chino right in front of us, right? Yep, Chino. Perfect heading. Well, we're going to be intercepting our ILS here, or at least the localizer on it. Still haven't heard it. We usually don't hear it until about 20 miles out, so we got a little bit of ways to go here. So we're actually gonna have to maneuver a little bit here. Let's make a little bit of a turn here, because we're coming up. Once this line here comes across our airport, we should intercept. Take a look out here. Yeah, we're a little bit off of where I normally go. So there's our altitude coming up. 1,000 feet to go. There we go. Go to approach. Oh, sorry, that's not what I wanted. Approach. That button. Alright, so that should give us a nice little intercept. Drop the speed flaps, or sorry, speed brakes. We'll start slowing down here to 190. Oh, what's going on? Something's loading. Alright, so we're below our glide path, 3,500. We got, what is that, 10, 15, 20, 30 degree intercept. I guess we can change that a little bit, right? And we'll let it go. We'll let the aircraft intercept it. Let's go back here, turn that off. Alright, here comes our glide slope is alive. Our speed looks good. We're at 195. We'll go to 2 degrees of flaps. I even see the airport out here, out our window. Take a look out the window as the airplane captures the localizer over Chino Hills. Here's our view at, what did they say? 1,400, I think the ATIS said. Alright, let's see what we got here. We are 15.8 nautical miles out. We're at 190. We'll go to 15 degrees of flaps as soon as we intercept our glide slope. So we're waiting for this little diamond to come down here. Actually, I'm sorry, not before. As soon as it comes alive, we'll actually go to 15. Once we actually intercept it is when we'll go to our landing configuration. And there you can see it's starting to come down, so we'll go to 15 on the flaps. 10, go to 15. Start slowing ourselves down a little bit more. And what are we at? 12 miles? We still got a little ways to go here, so hold our speed up a little bit. I'm looking at the DME, and there we are capturing the glide slope now. So we'll go to our final approach speed. I'm using 145. I don't know if that's right or wrong. I found that's usually does the trick for me. Do a little flap or spoilers here. Get ourselves slowed down a tad. Alright, we're about to capture that. Actually, I think we did capture it. We're descending. Diamond's a little off right there. We do get a little cloud deck. So, 9.4 miles. let's go ahead and configure for landing here. We'll arm the speed brakes. We're at flaps 15, and we're at 2,000 feet, so on the glide slope, on the localizer. We do fly over a little hill here, so this radar altimeter, you'll see it kind of go hokey a little bit. It goes up and down. But we're 8 DME out. Right around 1,500 feet, 6 DME is when we'll go to landing flaps and gear. We're at 7 DME, 1,700 feet. Alright, our speed is set for 145. We're coming up to 1,500 feet, so we will drop the gear and right at 6 DME. Gear down. And we'll go to 30 degrees of flaps. So we can see Disneyland. Oh, Disney, where are you? I never pay attention. I don't know. I don't think we fly right over it. We fly pretty close to it. I think it's off on this side. Oh well. Let's get ready to land here. 1,000 feet. Disconnect the autopilot at, I usually do it somewhere between 500 and the decision height. Since we're VFR here, see the runway, we'll do it at 500 and hand fly the rest of the way. It's not turbulent, so it's a pretty calm day out here today.
Approaching 20 right.
And we've got the runway in sight. We've got the Bassi, looks good. Coming up to 500 feet. 500. Okay. Engage the autopilot, we'll fly it in. 400. It's nice when you're stabilized on here. Stabilized approach, don't actually have to do much. A few little minor adjustments here and there. 200. Hopefully I don't crash. Up to the numbers. Throttle off. 50, 40, 30. Start our flare. 20, 10.
Long landing. Long landing.
At
4,000. 3,000 remaining.
What's that? Sorry about that. Well, that was a pretty crappy landing, eh? I think I might have blown a tire or something on that bounce. A little bit of a long landing, but it's okay. Hey, we didn't die. Might have popped a tire or something. It's also hard. It's the one thing that sucks about having the Xbox controller and having, I'm trying to not have the thing freeze up on me like it just did. There we go. Trying not to have, trying to apply brakes, thrust reversers, and and actually steer the plane. All right, let's do a replay. Sorry, I gotta get rid of that. Alt-R. Let's see how bad that landing really was. Let's see. We'll come up to here. Alright, we'll take a look. Take a look out here. Yeah, I was I kind of bounced there a little bit, and I was, I think I accidentally hit my my left trigger a little bit. That's why I started steering. There was a little bit of a tiny bit of a crosswind, I think, and I tried to kind of overcorrect it and just hose that one up. I don't know if the bounce popped the tire. Maybe we'll go out there and look. And we've made it alive. Welcome to Orange County, California.
100. 50. 40. 30.
There's a taxiway over there that Harrison Ford accidentally landed on one time. Yeah, it did float right. Oh, that was hard. Ouch. Yeah, if I was a passenger, I would have been like, what? Dude, are you lit? Yikes. That was a hard landing, for sure. That was probably the hardest landing I've ever had in this airplane. Of course, the one time that I'm actually streaming it. Oh well. Stage fright. Let's take a look out here. There we go. I don't know if we can see the tire. Blown. Yeah. I don't know. It's not much wind. I don't know, the tires look good. Maybe it was just me hitting the stick there. Let's find another view here. Let's go in here. Let's look at this one. We'll go out here, yeah. Alright. Final one, and then we'll call it a day for right now. Well, that's it for now. That was a fun flight. My first stream in the 737, and I almost rip a gear off. Let's see if I do some more of these, maybe get a little bit more proficient in this plane. Until next time, bye.